Is it time to give up on Nokia Mobile? Hi everyone, this is Abdulla. A few weeks back, on an Android Authority article, we read an uninspired yet optimistic plan about Nokia Mobile's future. After that, more than a week later, Juho Sarvikas announced that he's leaving HMD Global and joining Qualcomm North America. So, should we call it quits for the Nokia Mobile brand for one last time? Or can we say this is an end of an era and a beginning of a new chapter? As always, I'm on the optimistic side, if only just a little bit. Let me tell you why after you smash that like button, because that's really the only way, and subscribe to the channel. So the reason for Juho's exit isn't exactly clear. However, the data suggests that the Nokia brand has been struggling with market share and is in dire need of restructuring. To be fair, Nokia Mobile under Juho has had some bright moments. The Nokia 9 PureView, for example, was a superb device and finally showed that the brand is capable of delivering a proper PureView device worthy of the Zeiss branding. It was such a shame though that the device was pestered with a lot of issues and had its fair share of reliability problems. But as fans, we loved it the way it is because it shows very clear ambition. The 9 PureView showed us that the company, which was about 3 years old at the time, was capable of thinking outside of the box and might even be able to cause disruption in the future. Now moving on to the new market strategy. During the April 8th Love Trust Keep event, we finally saw the first glimpses of the new market strategy for the brand. This was cemented by the fact that they moved from the old naming scheme involving dots and numbers to a naming scheme that more resembles the previous old Nokia Corporation naming scheme of having one letter and two numbers. Now we have a C series, which tackles the entry-level segment of the market with Android Go. Then there is the G series, which utilizes the full Android experience but within the budget segment. And finally the X series, which are Nokia mid-range devices and perhaps even more. Unfortunately, especially for Nokia 9 users, it doesn't seem like we'll be looking at a flagship anytime soon. All the series highlight durability and extended Android support above everything else. There is a clear focus on the overall experience and emotional aspect of owning a Nokia device, rather than the technical aspect, which we all know Nokia Mobile can't really compete against the Chinese rivals these days. This is a new, bold yet risky strategy that might actually pay off. Sebastian Kalla, business manager of HMD Global Northern Europe, highlighted this in his statement on LinkedIn. He wrote, "We have been challengers and boldly thinking different ever since we re-entered the industry." Now that's a really bold statement. As far as we know, the last time Nokia was boldly thinking differently was when they introduced the Nokia 9 PureView. And while the rest of the lineup definitely had some differentiating aspects, like the build quality and the hardware materials, I don't feel like they were ever highlighted enough by their marketing. And sure, the 9 PureView wasn't exactly a sales hit, but at least it showed us that the brand was really trying. Right now, it might seem like the brand completely gave up on trying to do something different. But is that actually the case? Let me highlight some of the brighter aspects. For a start, we finally saw Nokia Mobile trying to focus on the elements that make a Nokia device unique. And that's to say reliability and durability. This is quite important, as a Nokia device should never compromise on both of these aspects. Nokia Mobile is also launching their own online store, so they can bypass local retailers and sell directly to consumers. This strategy allows them to focus more on digital marketing as opposed to trying to create brand deals with retailers. However, the most important aspect of that mediocre launch is probably that they've left the door wide open for the future of the Nokia X series of devices. This could definitely mean more upper mid-range devices and even flagships that could slot in within the X series. So far, they've covered the entry-level first-time smartphone owner segment, as well as the budget-friendly Android experience segment. The X10 and the X20 are just the entry-level premium segment of devices. Surely there should be big plans for the best the industry can offer, devices above the X20 maybe. It's also a good thing to see Nokia Mobile bringing technologies such as Ozo Audio, Cinema Mode and Zeiss Optics to lower price points. This return to a focus on imaging across the whole lineup is definitely a step in the right direction. The X20, for example, has quite a capable 64MP main shooter, which could definitely be a big selling point for a device competing within its segment. That is, of course, if the imaging is executed well. Only time will tell. So let me share with you my final thoughts. I wouldn't say that I've exactly been thrilled with how some things have turned out for Nokia Mobile and some of their partners over the last few years. Nokia Corporation, for example, has licensed Ozo Audio for some other competing brands. Light, which was their partner on the 9 PureView, later partnered up with Xiaomi and then completely abandoned the smartphone market. Nokia also lost their Zeiss brand exclusivity to Sony. Then a few months ago, Zeiss announced a long-term partnership with Vivo that also includes advanced research and development that's co-developed by both brands. This is something that I wish Nokia Mobile would have done. And then after all of this, we ended up with this overwhelming launch event on the 8th of April. And even though I personally don't think the devices that were announced were terrible per se, it's just as a fan, I was expecting a lot more. It also didn't help that even the good aspects of these devices wasn't highlighted in the event. This is especially relevant for the X series, which is supposed to be the best that the industry can offer, and we didn't end up getting a lot of details about the device itself. Even though I'm not really a big fan of the C series and I don't think it's the right segment that generates enough excitement, I think the strategy with the C series seems to be going quite well. But obviously the C series won't exactly be able to save them if things don't go well for the G and most importantly the X series. But it's definitely not over for Nokia Mobile yet. The brand is going through huge changes at the moment and they're trying to go back to the basics, to what made a Nokia phone special in the first place. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you it's gonna be an easy, smooth ride because it definitely won't be. And it will definitely take a lot of time, but I still remain optimistic that they can pull through. They are trying to create a niche for themselves in an uber competitive smartphone market. And if they can convince people that there are more to phones than just specs and that the emotional aspect is also quite important, aka the love, trust, keep, they might be able to pull it off. At least, I really hope that they do. Anyways, that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to share, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.